Being a Samsung user is very exciting when Samsung launches a brand new flagship. Today, we're talking about the brand new Samsung Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus. Roll the intro. What's going on, guys? My name's David Tomich and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about tech and gadgets that you might be looking at buying right now in 2019. Today, we're talking about the all-new, recently announced Samsung Galaxy Note 10 and the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. If this is your first video about the Samsung Note 10, or if this is your 10th video about the Note 10, there's a lot of information out there that isn't covered in the one space. Today, my goal here is to make sure to inform you guys of every single thing about the Note 10 that may or may not change your mind about pre-ordering this flagship device. Before we dive right into it, the Samsung Note series is their premium powerhouse models. It's for anybody looking to get the most out of their phone or spend a little bit of time gaming on their phone. This isn't a device for everyday use, and it is reflected in the price point that Samsung has set out. So Samsung has come out and said that they're releasing two brand new Note 10 models, the Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus. In Australia right now, you can pre-order both of these models starting from $14.99 for the Samsung Note 10 and goes all the way up to $19.99 for the Samsung Note 10 Plus in a 5G model. Now, that's a lot of money for a mobile phone. If you aren't using it every day for something productive, something creative, or for a business purpose, then chances are you probably aren't going to be buying this phone. But if you have a love for tech like I do, then obviously you want to find out everything about the latest and greatest. So when it comes down to the Note series, everything we've learned in the past is still true today. However, usually they come out with only one Note model, and that's the biggest, the best, and the most powerful. This time around, for some reason, they come out with two different models, the 6.3 inch and the 6.8 inch display. Now, on paper, you take a look at the Note 10 and you think, this is a bit of an inferior phone when compared to the Note 10 Plus. It lacks quite a few qualities that may be of interest to you. But if you're using a Note 10 just for the S Pen and you've usually found it a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit too big, well, the 6.3 model, the Note 10, might actually be perfect for you in this case. So unlike most Samsung devices, it actually comes out in a spectrum of different colors to suit your needs and your desires. For me, I'm a pretty standard guy. I like my things to come in black, hence the tie. So I wouldn't be choosing anything outside the norm. So the Note 10 comes in a variety of 5 different colors. It comes in the Aura Glow, which I'm sure you guys have already seen. It reflects light and creates such a unique little experience in this almost silver kind of mirror finish. It comes in a black, a standard white, and also a red and a pink. So these are a little bit different from your usual whites and your blacks. And right now in Australia, if you do jump online, well, you can only buy the Aurora Glow and the black model. I'm not sure if they're going to announce the other colors or if they're going to be specific to different carriers, which is more than likely going to be the case. But at the moment, it is Aurora Glow and black. It's very similar with the Note 10 Plus, and with the exception that it doesn't come in the pink and the red, it comes in this unique blue color as the fourth option. A couple of things to note if you're already a Samsung user, and it's quite important because it means you're going to have to retrain your brain to use this phone, is the simple fact that Samsung has moved the power button from the right hand side to the left hand side, where originally the little Bixby button used to be. So now the Bixby button is a multi-purpose button, which actually can be remapped to completely take out Bixby, which is great. By default, it's set to a single tap to unlock the phone and wake the phone. Any longer than a single tap, it automatically activates Bixby, and by holding down the button, it does nothing by default. If you want to remap the button, then obviously you can have it as power on and long press for complete power off. Otherwise, to shut down the phone, it's no longer available by pressing down the Bixby button or the home button. You actually have to swipe down from the top of the menu and power it down like that. The second feature to note, which has kind of been brushed under the carpet, is the simple fact that they've removed the headphone jack. Now, this is a huge deal for Samsung because they haven't removed the headphone jack in any flagship model to date. Now, this is also a cheeky little upselling marketing tactic by Samsung. It means they're going to try and upsell you their Samsung Galaxy Buds now a little bit harder than they had done in the past. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Note 10's features, and then we're going to talk about the Note 10's Plus advantages and additional features. So both phones by standard come with a minimum of 25 watt fast charging capabilities. The Note 10 Plus, however, you can get a 45-watt supercharger for an additional cost. Now, if you're unsure how much more power this is from your current phone, well, the Samsung S9 and the S10 are using something like a 15 to an 18-watt power supply to get their fast chargers. Even though the battery is significantly bigger on the Note 10, it means you're going to get a quicker charge with a standard 25-watt charge, and almost halving the amount of time when you're using the supercharger 45-watt charging. Being the Note series, one of the key features for this flagship is the S Pen. Now, the S Pen has gotten a complete new upgrade again from the last year's model. It now comes in a unibody design. The S Pen has also come with some additional updated features and some gesture controls built into the unibody design. So now, if you have your phone, for example, set up on a tripod like I have my camera here today, you can actually use it to record yourself or record somebody else from a distance, and just use the S Pen like a magic wand really to control the device from a distance. So if you want to switch between video mode, live video mode, photo mode, or anything in the Samsung menu, you can literally just use the S Pen to swipe across left and right and go between the menus. You can also flick it up to reverse the camera and use the opposite camera that you're using and flick it down then to bring it back to the selfie mode. So I don't really know how much of an advantage this is going to be to everybody, but I can definitely see it as a particular use for some particular people. For example, if you're starting a YouTube channel and you don't have enough to invest in a mirrorless camera or a DSLR and a brand new flagship smartphone, but you need one to do the job, well, the Note 10 might be the perfect device for you. You could easily have this triple camera design set up on your tripod and get some incredible content whilst also not having to worry about anything while changing the settings. Now, Samsung talked quite heavily about the fact that they're increasing the capabilities of video mode. So smartphones nowadays really take amazing images, and we are all very aware of that fact, but we know they still are lacking a little bit in the video department. Well, Samsung has come out blatantly and said that it has now gone from a pro camera to a pro video as well. Now, this is exciting for somebody like me, especially the simple fact that they announced super steady mode in the Samsung Note 10 Plus. So the comparison that they gave of the Note 9 and the Note 10 Plus is actually incredible to watch. They've used AI technology to increase the stability and to actually predict the different types of movements that you might be making to create this super steady mode. Now, most action camera companies are actually bringing this technology into their cameras way before this smartphone was even announced, whilst other companies like Canon and Sony with their DSLR and mirrorless cameras are still actually lacking quite a little bit in this department, but that's again the amount of image quality and the megapixels you are getting out of a proper DSLR or mirrorless versus your smartphone. Having said that, I personally don't think it's going to be too long before we can completely remove our mirrorless cameras and just rely heavily on our smartphones. It might take a little bit of time for the industry, especially as amateurs, try to create video content and photo content as a business using their smartphone to adjust, but I think as a society we are going to get there very quickly, and our smartphones are going to be even more powerful than they are right now. Now, a feature that's unique to the Samsung Note 10 Plus is live bokeh mode. So if you've used a new flagship phone by Samsung or even by Apple, you know that in the settings, when you're taking a photo, you can blur out the whole background and have a really nice bokeh. What you haven't been able to do in the past is actually implement this feature into live video mode. Using this in video mode is usually specifically limited to very expensive video equipment. Now, that professional grade technology has been brought down to consumer level, which is again very exciting news for everybody that loves tech as much as I do. Now, there is one feature in the Note 10 Plus that I would happily upgrade whatever phone I was holding at the time for. So both phones come with a standard 12 megapixel camera, the ultra wide 16 megapixel camera, and the 12 megapixel telephoto. But the Note 10 Plus comes with an additional depth sensing camera. So if you have no idea what a depth sensing camera is, it's the same technology that they use with facial recognition in unlocking your smartphone today. However, they've gone ahead and advanced the technology to make it even more useful to the consumer. So if you activate the depth sensing camera on the Note 10 Plus, you can actually orbit around an object and the phone will try and find all the different articulations and understand what that object looks like in its entirety. Example of this technology is somebody on the International Space Station could potentially have one of these phones as their key tools up there, and they could scan different wrenches, different tools, 3D print them on the space station and never need a manufacturing plant or even need somebody from the Earth down below. Now, in all honesty, this is a little bit of a gimmicky feature and not everybody will use it, especially if you don't have a 3D printer or if you're doing animations in video. But it is an incredibly cool feature to have and something that's exciting to see in technology today. Now, I hope I've covered everything about the brand new Samsung Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus. If you guys are looking at pre-ordering, drop a comment down below. Let me know what color you're looking at pre-ordering because I'll probably be joining you sometime soon. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, smash that subscribe button 2019 style, and as always, I'll see you next Monday.